This is Kenny Clark, and this is Lombardi's Bar.
This is one of my favorite podcasts to do.
I'm just, blessed and thankful to be a part of this podcast. It's a great podcast, a great interview.
Maybe I know that you guys obviously being the best Packers podcast that's out there.
I had Malort this weekend, so I'm not tasting anything.
Oh, good.
He did.
God.
He did. That was fantastic.
Because it said, "Did you ever try Malort?" And I said, "No." And then it said, "Do you want to take a shot of Malort?" I said, "No," but I did.
Wait, who said
It's called
peer pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I tried to get in a high honors English class once, and they called my parents and were like, "Hey, just tell him he can't do it."
It shows. It really shows.
I hate you guys so much.
I'm going to throw these two guys into the screen so that if I die, they can carry on the legacy of crap that is this show.
Testing. 1, 2, 3. I have no idea if this is coming through or not because my internet decided to completely crap out, like literally right before we jumped on here. So I hope that I'm reaching out to the tens of everybody. Apparently I can be heard, probably can't be seen. According to my mom, that was why it was great that I went into radio. So welcome into Lombardi's Bar, everybody. I'm your bartender, Dan Koenig. Thank you so much for joining us. Perfect. That's exactly how it should be, everybody. Welcome, Edwin, Jay, Justin. Thank you for joining us. Let's get the video, guys, so you guys can see a couple of people out here. How are you guys doing? I can't believe it. The video looks fine on my end. I don't know what's going on.
I'm not surprised.
It finally started working once we came in.
Yeah. I'm glad you're back a little bit now, though. I was a little worried I was going to have to host, which did not go well last time. So thank you.
I thought you did great.
Oh, thanks so much.
Yeah.
I don't trust that compliment, but I'm going to accept it.
I don't remember it. It's just I don't want to do it. So I'll tell you did great. So you'll do it again.
It's one of the times you gaslight for in a positive way.
I never gaslight anybody ever.
I'm going to bring up all of the on-brand off-topic episodes where you talk about how good you are at gaslighting.
You're crazy. That never happened.
Guys, how are you feeling?
Dance froze again.
How are you feeling after Sunday, guys?
Gross.
It sucked. Like a tie is a loss in my mind. It's a game we should have won, especially on that offensive line. Yes, we had our excuses for our offensive line, which looked like crap. We just I want to give kudos to Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott had a hell of a game. He played really well. But one of the things I was saying to my dad, sorry, Todd, just nipping that in the bud right away.
No, it's cool.
Preemptive strike.
I was saying to him, yeah, he had a good game, but if we want to be a Super Bowl team, we have to perform well on defense, even against a quarterback playing well. It's just something we have to do. It's only week 4, so I don't want to get too negative. It sucked though. Just those back-to-back games was just a kick in the nuts, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, I'm in the same. That was a game that should have been won. They came out firing like they were going to run away with it. And then Matt did what Matt does when he has a 10-point lead, no matter where he's at in the game, immediately goes into conservative mode and let his foot off the gas, which I'm fine with getting rid of everybody always brings up how he said all gas, no fuck. That was years ago. That was a completely different offense. He had a Hall of Fame quarterback. He had one of the best wide receivers in the game. He had a veteran running back. There's a big difference in saying that then and still holding him accountable to that today with the team that he has. So we can wash that away. Nonetheless, it was still gross. And just for a team that scored 40 points in that game, it did not feel like that offense played a 40-point game at any point. So it was a whole lot of LaFleur trying not to lose the game rather than trying to win the game.
Yeah, I could go the rest of the season without seeing another swing or screen pass. Just that last 2 minutes of overtime, I'm good. It ruined that play for me for the next 14 games, however many we have. I'm with you though. It was insane. Just them, and his excuse afterwards too. I don't want to step on toes I know we're going to talk about this later again too, but even his excuse in the presser of like, I thought we were in a 2-minute drill. They thought we were in a no huddle. It's like, that's still not an excuse. That's just even more of a cluster.
How do you bring a team out of, they had the ball for the 2-minute warning. They came out of the 2-minute warning and they didn't know. You didn't, in that 2-minute warning during that timeout, you didn't convey to the team, hey guys, this is 2-minute offense. It's not ingrained into them. That's on coaching right there. Like,
it's also like you might want to check the IQ of players if you literally have a 2-minute warning and they don't understand you're in a 2-minute offense after that. Like, yes, I'm coaching, but also how dumb can you be of not having that click? I don't know. Dan, go ahead. I know we're going to cover some of this stuff
or what happened. I'll move on. I'll go into buy around here with mine. I'm going with Devontae Wyatt. He played a hell of a game while he was in there. Thankfully, it sounds like it's not serious week to week. Bruce Irons tweeted out, the defense gave up 0 points in 28 minutes with Devontae Wyatt, gave up 35 points in the 32 minutes without him. And after Wyatt went out, they scored 5 touchdowns and 6 drives. Like, I was thinking it during the game too. Once he went out, the pass rush changed. Like the whole defensive front changed at that point. And I don't think we were so focused on Rashawn Gary leading the league in sacks going into the game, Micah Parsons obviously being a huge addition. I don't think we were giving enough credit to how good Devontae Wyatt has been this year, other than you giving the entire defensive tackle group bump and praise for them. So maybe that was all you, Jimmy. I don't know, but thankfully it doesn't seem to be a serious injury with Devontae Wyatt. They can get him back sooner rather than later.
Yeah, and to your point exactly, like when they dropped off from him and like Carl Brooks, he's made plays. What is this, his third year? Like he's made plays throughout the seasons, like the last couple of years, but he's not a down-to-down guy like Wyatt. And Wyatt always had the rush or the pass rushing capability is kind of where you've seen him shine, and humble brag for the show. Even like Kenny Clark, when we interviewed him before, he mentioned like he has all the talent to be one of the top guys. And I think now with more focus going on the outside with Parsons and Gary, Van Ness playing well, and even going into next to him sometimes on those third down situations, like you've really seen him take a huge step up this year. And him dipping out was it was noticed right away. When you have Stackhouse, and no offense to him, like I'm glad we kept our undrafted free agent streak alive, staying on the team. But when you have Stackhouse having to play multiple plays in a row and like a significant role in the defense in a game, it's not going to go well. He might fall asleep during the game. Like he really, narcolepsy's real. You don't know. But I'm with you. Wyatt has been great this year. However many weeks he's out, as much as we complained about the bye week, like thank God it's week 5 because we have so many people that we need to give some rest to.
At this rate, we need another one in week 9 and another one in week 14.
Can we cancel the Bengals game? They're without Burrow. Just let both teams rest.
Yeah. We'll take another tie.
Just call it a tie.
Yeah, I'd rather take another tie and not have to watch a fucking game than to go. And the worst is that it was late. I had to stay up past 11 o'clock. I'm an old man now. Do you know what that does to me? Threw my whole week off. I'm still recovering.
Yeah, you've been terrible this week, dude.
Sure. I didn't go to bed until 1:30 Eastern after that fucking game on Sunday because of podcasting, everything that had to come after that. That sucked. And yeah,
Move out of Ohio.
I'm not in Ohio.
Oh yeah, move out of. I thought.
I
Are you from
I did-
Ohio? At some point in time, you were in Ohio.
I'm from Ohio. I haven't
Yeah.
lived in Ohio in
Get out of
almost
Michigan.
a decade.
I switched it in my mind for some reason. I was like, he's from Michigan, lives in Ohio. I switched that. That's on me.
Yeah, I'm just gonna before I talk every time, I'm just gonna say this is Dan talking, so that everyone knows. Yeah, I don't know what you guys are talking about as I fought with Google and AT&T to get my internet working again. I assume it was about how indispensable Devontae Wyatt is to the middle of this defense, and yes, I couldn't agree more, because as much as I love guys like Colby Wooden and fellow Ohio College BG alum Carl Brooks, talons up, who played a great game. Carl Brooks was one of the few guys actually getting consistent pressure from the middle of the defensive line. Nobody really can replace Devontae Wyatt in the middle of the field so far, and that's pretty evident. Todd, that was yours. Jimmy, who would you like to have by a round?
Yeah, I went with at first I was going to go Josh Jacobs, but I switched it just to the running backs, because even Emmanuel Wilson had a hell of a game. Like it started off just like the last couple of weeks. Like it started off slow, but like both of them had an impact in the passing game, in the run game. Jacobs broke some pretty big runs. He had a couple touchdowns this game. Wilson, it kind of seemed like even before Josh Jacobs got going, like Wilson was the one to get that running game going. I don't know what it is with Jacobs. It's been a little bit slower this year. He turned it on in the second half of the game and towards the end. So like, I'm not gonna dog him, but it was a big step up. I think we finished with over 150 rushing yards. So it's been an improvement. I was hoping it would kind of be from like start to finish a strong run game, but after the first 3 weeks, I'm not going to complain. Just having any sense of life out of that room was big. And without those guys like Jacobs, even in the pass game, I know initially they said it was a run because it was a backwards pass, but that little Brett Favre play that Jordan Love had, dishing it out to Josh Jacobs on the sideline for 28 yards. Wilson was involved in the swing game as well. So this offense did not they would not have put up 40 points if it wasn't for those two guys. So we got to give kudos to the run, and hopefully it continues going forward. Like the Bengals don't have the most stout defense, and it can hopefully gain some momentum and continue. And Josh Jacobs is on the record saying it takes a few weeks for the run game to click, as much as that sucks, but he's someone that he's a bell cow. It's going to turn on eventually. So hopefully this is the first of many for that room.
Can we all agree that Emmanuel Wilson needs to go back to 31?
I hate 23. I hate 23 so much.
He was like, I felt like a tall, quick, fast, powerful back as 31. And now at 23, he's just like a short bowling ball kind of back that just like stumbles through people. Wild how changing your number can do that to your entire just aura, but he can't, he's not a 23.
I've never cared about numbers at all. But for some reason, Wilson being like 22 for Golden.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I'm 22 on gold. Whatever he wants, fine, whatever.
Wilson 23 sucks. I don't know what it is. I'm with you though. It's weird. I don't like it. Go back to 31. He would have had 100 yards if he had.
It's throwing me off because I keep looking at it and they say Wilson, and I'm expecting to see 31, and it's like that uncanny valley thing where I'm like, it's not clicking in my head. Like you keep saying Wilson, but I don't see the number of Wilson. Like it does not compute. I don't see this. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. And really it's been as much as it sucked. Like you said, the run game itself has not picked up what they've been able to do. And really, I don't think that's been on the running backs. It's been this offensive line. It's just been absolutely terrible. And I mean, it's not necessarily their fault. They've been decimated, but the running backs have picked up the slack elsewhere, passing game, blocking game, all over the field. So the running backs are pulling their weight all across the offense so far.
Sorry, before you go, to your point, like I've said this on multiple shows, like Josh Jacobs' 2-yard gains should be -2 multiple times in the game.
Yes.
Like even on that touchdown, like it was for a first down. Like he had to dodge 2 tackles just to gain 1 yard for the first down. Like they are doing him no service on that offensive line. And I saw Justin someone put in the chat, Jay, about the Bengals game being Jenkins' get right game, like at center, going from arguably your first, second best offensive lineman to now liability at center this game was a little bit better at times, but dude, like it is a damn struggle. And it's just, I don't know. For me, I'm to the point now where I'm like, figure out a way to get Jenkins back at guard. Put Zach Tom at center. I don't care at this point. Let Belton figure out right tackle. Like I just want to see something. I don't know. We can get to it later, but this offensive line, how it is right now, I feel like there has to be some changes outside of just players being healthy.
I mentioned this on the post game show because I did not notice this until Chris Collinsworth brought it up on the broadcast about
looking under
through his legs.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I've never noticed that before, but that has to have some kind of effect on him, right? Like there's no way, like if somebody you say whatever you want about Chris Collinsworth as a commentator or whatever, but Chris Collinsworth watches a fuck ton of football, more than all of us. If that sticks out to him as odd, then to me that raises a red flag. Right?
Yeah. I would just put both linebackers and threaten dual A-gap blitzes nonstop because he just keeps putting his head down.
Right.
As soon as he puts his head down, just move around. Like,
right.
Because he has to come back up and find where he's supposed to go. And if he's got something where he has to climb to the next level, he's got to find who he chips and then moving to the next level. Like there's a lot that happens, and he's supposed to be your communicator on the line. There's a lot that happens before the snap of the ball, and he can't see any of it.
Yeah, I don't understand how that's a real NFL thing going on. To Ed's point too of bringing back Myers, I never thought in my life that I'd be like, maybe Josh Myers wasn't that bad. Right now, I'm thinking Josh Myers wasn't that bad.
Yeah, I mean, maybe having someone like Elton Jenkins around Josh Myers, kind of like high tide lifts all boats kind of thing, maybe they overplayed their hand a little bit with the Elton Jenkins situation. We're in by a round, so we should stay a little bit more positive. I'm going to go. Yeah, it is. I'm going to go with Romeo Doubs, though. I'm going to buy a round for Romeo. I mean, hat trick on touchdowns. There's inklings, rumors out there that extensions, talks of a Romeo Doubs contract are getting floated around. Something that we were not kind of expecting 2 months ago. We were all kind of expecting this to be the Romeo Doubs swan song, and now injuries, situations have changed, and Romeo Doubs has over these first 4 weeks, like obviously not the same exact level of talent as Devontae Adams, but sort of that same like style of comfortability, right? In the offense of when you need the play, when you need the right situation, it was like every time you want to leave Romeo Doubs one-on-one in coverage in the red zone, they're going to attack it every single time. And that was Devontae Adams. That was Jordy Nelson. Romeo Doubs has become that guy. And so kudos to Romeo because he's playing himself into a contract extension in Green Bay.
The best thing to look at it, and to your point in the red zone, like last week we saw his little shift into a slant for a wide open touchdown. This week we saw it in both ways, but like the first one, it's that same setup. Like you mentioned Devontae Adams, like no one's ever going to have a release like him in my mind on the, like that Devontae Adams release off the line, by far the best, but just his little shiftiness. And last week he did hit a slant, that opening touchdown, doing the same exact move, but it went into that kind of end zone fade. Like that, he's by far the best weapon in the red zone for Love, followed probably closely by Tucker Kraft. But Dobbs he's having a hell of a season right now. I know it's only been 4 games, but Mr. Consistent, Mr. Red Zone, he's a big part. So I would not be surprised at all if they try to extend him, even if it is like a shorter contract, just getting him another year on the team.
I don't think he's going to take a shorter contract. I mean, if he's playing at this level, I think he'd just as soon hit free agency and see what's out there.
Yeah, I guess for shorter, I don't mean like a 1-year deal like Watson did, just to have that 5th-year option.
Yeah.
Maybe, even 2. Yeah, for him, 2 years would be short, but maybe 3. I don't know. But yeah, no, I'm with you. Like him taking a short one would be him doing a hell of a service for the team, because he could leave and get close to $20 million a year. He'd be right around that, like 17. He beat what Shakir get on the Bills, like 13 a year right now. He's by far more than that. He'd have to be up to 16, 17 at this point. But
I don't know. I mean, do you so you've extended Christian Watson, right? You've got Matthew Golden, you've got Savion Williams, right? So that there's 3. I'm trying to what's
Wicks?
Jaden Reed has 1 more year or 2 more years, right?
1 more.
2.
One after
more?
this. One after this.
One after this, right? Yeah, that's what I was trying to like. That's what I'm trying to think is like Reed kind of seems like he, especially with the injury this year, could end up like it's crazy to think like we were all like going into week 1. Jaden Reed had the inside track to become basically become wide receiver number 1 and take over as the lead dog on this team. And now it looks like after 4 weeks, he very well could be like on his way out the door very quickly. Because if he can't come back from this injury, if Christian Watson comes back as soon as it seems like he's coming back and start producing, and it already seems Savion Williams has really found his way into the playbook. Jaden Reed is going to be very hard to come by snaps very quickly. So
I mean, we've seen him do a weird trade. They wouldn't do it this year because of his injury and stuff, but we saw them trade Rasul Douglas at the trade deadline, which no one expected. So I can envision next year if we do extend Dobbs and we're going into next season and we're around that trade deadline, like I don't see how one of the receivers is not dealt. Like at that point, whether it's injury or just the team needs another weapon. I'm with you. Reed makes it. He honestly makes the most sense at that point, just based on productivity last year. This year, I know he had some moments, even in his very short season so far. But that big touchdown that should have been, if it wasn't a penalty from Love, his perfect pass into the end zone. Like, yeah, I'm with you. It seems like Reed is kind of the odd man out right now.
I think Iowa Joe nails it there. If you extend Romeo, you see what happens with Watson and Reed. If Matthew Golden really starts to pan out over the course of the rest of this season.
And if Wicks keeps playing like he has, because he's going to be a lot cheaper in the long run, most likely, than Watson and probably Reed would be. So if you have Dobbs playing like he is, Wicks and Golden.
Yeah.
Could you see a world where they think if Wicks keeps playing like this, he could replace Dobbs like reliability? Or do you think it's at this point Dobbs has kind of played himself above what you think Wicks can do?
I don't know. To me, Dobbs kind of feels like he wants to hit the market and maybe find new life somewhere. I think after last season, he had the mental health stuff, had a couple concussions. Like he might just be looking for a fresh start somewhere.
Yeah.
And I mean, kudos to him if that's what he wants to do and goes and finds it. Because honestly, on the open market, I'm guessing he probably gets a 4-year deal.
Right.
100%. You have to admit though, I'm with you on like his vibe, and also his family is out on the West Coast. He has at least one kid, maybe two now, out that are living out there. So like he may want to get closer to them, but like Dobbs after those touchdowns, that was the most animated you've seen Dobbs after any touchdown ever. So I don't know if like vibes are changing for him or what, but like he was dancing, he was getting in the camera. Usually it's him just like stone cold Steve Austin faced, walking, high-fiving people, hand the ball to the ref. But like he was dancing to the camera. Maybe things are changing. I don't know. I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but I agree with you. He seems like someone that could maybe want a fresh start, but that's the most enthusiastic I've seen him in a while. Other than that one time he smiled on a Packer social media video.
That was cool.
I mean,
It was a great moment for all of us.
I'll finish with this. You mentioned the mental health stuff and the stuff that came up last year, which all kind of seemed to, not all, but a large part of it seemed to come about because of playing time or / fit in the offense. Maybe those things have kind of changed now that it seems like Romeo Dobbs has taken over this number one spot in the offense, or that Romeo Dobbs has seemed to
I don't know, because didn't we look at it? Sorry to interrupt. Didn't we look at it? And he was like first or second on the team in targets when things started to kind of go south for him last year. So he was getting opportunities. I don't know necessarily that that's what it was. But it, he could have seen Reed getting more involved with the offense and not like that, or who knows what it was. I think it had more to do with his personal life and less to do with football.
Probably
is just my takeaway.
But
Iowa Joe, that's all speculation. Nobody knows anything in that.
Right. Iowa Joe, we have had a 20-minute conversation with both of these gentlemen. There's a reason that Romeo Dobbs is in our intro video and MVS is not.
Pushed out of our memories.
Pushed way, way down into the sunken place.
Dobbs was a great interview. Like
Dobbs was a fantastic interview.
Because he even talked with us like 20 minutes before, or not 20, like 10 minutes before.
No, he was. I got on. I remember getting on to make sure that like the studio was up and that we had all of our like folders and stuff. And I got on like 20 minutes early, and he was already here. And I was like, I messaged you guys right away. I was like, he's here. I don't know what to do.
Yeah, dude, he was awesome. He was so nice and chatty, little chatty Kathy.
I hung out with his wife for like 10 minutes before the Lions game this year. She was great, or significant other. I guess I'm not sure what their official status is, but she's just as bright and bubbly as Romeo is. They're like two peas in a pod, man. She was fun.
Wow, tone it down. Have some respect.
Yeah, dude, they're together.
It's another man's partner. He won't talk about it like that.
Hey, why you don't flirt?
I wasn't flirting.
Okay. Well,
I was incredibly respectful. I was incredibly respectful.
Dan's like Ben Johnson with that one sideline reporter getting real googly eyed, dude. Calm down.
Knock it off. Keep in your pants, you pervert. Jimmy, pay the tab.
Let's get negative.
Forgot who I had, but I was
give the people what they came here for.
All right. This is going. I want to bring back, hopefully, to pay the tab bump, but by far his absolute worst game this season.
Yeah.
Like Edrin Cooper. you will be a star in this league. You had such a bad game. It just missing tackles nonstop, like multiple in the backfield. Someone commented on Twitter when I said that same thing of like, you're going to be a star. This is a tough game. Like he just kept overrunning himself out of position. Like, yes, you are a freak athlete. You have to learn when to slow down and just make the damn tackle. And multiple times just trying to arm tackle. You see him going too far, diving back like, oh shit, I made a mistake. It's just those moments. They will get cleaned up. It's only week 4, but I mean, after a performance like that, you have to pay the tab. It was a really rough game for him.
Maybe it's the turf. The first 3 games were all on grass.
Didn't expect that speed.
He got on that turf. He was faster and getting himself out of position.
Yeah, honestly, maybe. But if that's your biggest problem with turf, I guess we'll take it. But yeah, dude,
I mean,
I don't know what
Super Bowl's on grass this year, so we're fine.
We're fine. Yeah.
It looked like the Quay Walker stuff from those first couple years when everyone was, like the big knocks on Quay where, he overruns things, over pursues, goes to the wrong, hits the wrong holes. Like that's exactly what Edrin was doing. I mean, really everybody on that defense, terrible pursuits, terrible tackling.
That George Pickens touchdown still lives in my mind.
Oh God.
The one where Carrington Valentine's just sliding next to him.
Yeah. The one that stuck out to me was was it Turpin? The Hail Mary throw that
Nixon's just standing there like, it's gonna go out of bounds.
Where Nixon is looking up into the stands looking for the hot dog vendor 10 yards away while somebody's making the catch of their career in front of him in a game where like you're trying to prevent them from taking the lead at the end of the fucking football game. And I swear when they were showing the replay, he had his hands on his hips, like just like standing there watching. I was beside myself with some of the perceived effort that was being shown.
Dude, after I saw that play, I was begging for them. It took them like a few times to get to just like the broad view so you could watch Nixon the whole time. After that play, I was like, well, Ross Uglum, dude, shits on Nixon way too much. At that moment, my first thought was like, well, I'm not going to think Ross is an idiot after this one because this was a piss poor play. Like he is clearly just like, that's going out of bounds. That was so many rough moments in that game, dude. Yeah.
All right. Everybody.
I'll take it.
Clear the paint. Todd's going ISO.
Sit back and just listen.
Yep.
Big shocker.
Everyone stand back like Keshawn Nixon and watch Todd go.
Big shocker here. It's Rich Bisaccia again. I don't know what I could say that's new aside from the fact that it happened again. And we were talking before the show and like LaFleur said, if they could just clean up and avoid the catastrophic plays on special teams. And it's like, those have been happening since before Rich got here. Rich was supposed to help with that. And nothing's happened aside from using a handful of roster spots each year for Bisaccia's guys. I'm guessing he was a big proponent of bringing in Anders Carlson, which we know how terribly that worked out. And then the catastrophic plays are still here at least every 3 weeks, if not every week, like we've seen the last 2. And it's just to the point where, like, what are fans supposed to believe, that Matt or anyone in the organization is paying attention or gives a shit? Because Rich Bisaccia is continuing to just have one of the worst special teams units in the league every single year, and they do nothing.
No, like you said, like Todd, like it's the fact that the one or two catastrophic plays, like you can't go to any other thing, any other industry or like anything, and say like, well, if it wasn't for these catastrophic things, like everything else would be okay. Like, you don't run a space program and be like, oh, well, every 5 years or so, we go to the moon, but like every 5 years we have a Challenger explosion, and a spaceship blows up in the fucking stratosphere, and we lose 5
Okay.
Africans. And it's a
Okay,
national
but honestly,
tragedy.
I'm good with that if every other year we're having successful missions into space. If we're getting to Mars and we're getting good intel and finding things out, then you do that. If we were scoring touchdowns or having long returns every week or every other week or big blocks, things like that were happening for our special teams, and every 4 to 5 weeks you have something bad happen, okay, you deal with that. At least things good are happening. But when it's this bad, and what's the last good thing that happened? 3 years ago, Nixon returned to kickoff. Fucking okay, cool. Put that on your resume.
At what
3
point
years
do you
ago, 3 years ago, one of my players returned a touchdown. You're going to fire me now? We could do that again. Let's shut the fucking terrible.
At what point do you just put Nixon back there? Because like, as much as like I like Savion Williams as a player, actually, I'm gonna change course quick and then go back to him. First of all, Matthew Golden, get him the fuck off the punt returns.
Fuck out of there.
That's insane.
Again, it's a coaching issue. That short hopper that he picked up should never be in a position for that to be something you have to pick up.
Or tell him when you catch the ball, you should not spin right away. Whether there's a player there or in his case, not a player there, just don't spin right away.
Yeah.
And then you look at Savion, like Aubrey, give him credit. Like he is a hell of a kicker and was putting it very close to the end zone every time. Run the fucking ball out, catch it and run at that point, because if you kneel it in the end zone, you're going to get to the 20. If you run, you'll get past the 20. So I don't understand. Like the first time it was like, okay, he's testing it out. It was the rest of the game. The ball would go right around that 1 yard line and he'd still kneel it in the end zone. It's like, well, you're setting us back 15 yards.
Have your returners start
time.
at the 5.
Right.
Have them stand at the 5 yard line if that's where they're kicking it to. Catch it and return. Like, it's not hard to figure this out, but they're doing nothing to change anything.
Exactly.
Like the kickoff rules changed, and Rich Bisaccia went, everybody in the league's just going to do the same thing. It's not a big deal.
Yeah,
no,
right.
no, fine. You're the highest paid special teams coordinator in the league. You need to be an innovator. You need to figure out how to work these rule changes to your favor. And instead he does nothing.
Right. And listen, at this point,
Emma brought it up. What does he bring as the assistant head coach? Maybe he brings something. Then make him just an assistant head coach. Make him the fucking mascot that gives a rah-rah speech, or that whispers into Matt's ear, preferably while Matt's wearing earplugs and not listening, because I haven't seen that Rich can coach it. But like, if that's what he's worth, then have him do that and go get a real special teams coordinator that's not an absolute moron when it comes to doing their job.
Or let him just be the time management person, because clearly we saw that's an issue on the team. Like, give him some random task.
I don't know that I want him to have a game day responsibility at this point.
Let him be the Rams guy that, like, when Sean McVay goes on the field, they pull him back. Just do that.
Like I said last week, let him be the fun little Labrador retriever in the locker room that everyone loves, or like Big Dom. Yeah, Big Dom. Something here I want to address this that True North put in here. Tired of blaming Bisaccia. It's the personnel or something. First off, like we keep saying, he's the highest paid special teams coordinator in the league. If special teams is this bad, then what are we paying him that much money for, to have special teams this bad? If it's a personnel issue, then why is he paid this much money to have special teams be this bad? And the second thing is, you can't if you're focusing on just that blocked kick, sure. But it's not just the blocked kick. It's the penalties. It's almost every single punt and kick return. There's a holding call or something. And then on that last touchdown drive from the Cowboys, they started at the 40-yard line because they had a great kickoff return. Brandon McManus had to make 2 fucking touchdown saving tackles. He almost got hurt on the last one, which would have put them in jeopardy going into overtime. That's not good special teams. And Jimmy, you brought up the kickoff thing. It's like Brandon Aubrey is clearly doing something. It's not like there was only one kickoff the Cowboys were doing. They scored 40 fucking points. You had a lot of kickoffs. If it happened 2 times, the third time, talk to Savion Williams and Bo Melton and say, hey guys, let's try this instead. He didn't do anything. He didn't fucking talk to anybody. He didn't try anything. So what are you getting paid for? That's not a personnel issue. That's a coaching issue.
And also 100%, like nothing you said was wrong. And to Todd's point too, like he's been given multiple roster spots just for special teams. Like I get it. Savion wasn't specifically like, oh, he can do kick returns, but like after he was drafted, the highest comparison I've seen online was like, oh, he could be a Cordell Patterson. Like you've had your players. It's the sloppiness consistently. And for the kick returner on the Cowboys, like the audacity to go out half speed every time, like, oh, I know a hole's going to open up with this kickoff unit. I'm just going to jog until the 15-yard line and then hit the hole right away. Like he knows this unit's going to open something up. And sure as shit, when the game mattered most, there was a hole multiple times for him to get to the 40-yard line. Yeah, I'm done with the Rich Bisaccia. It's not even an experiment at this point. It's just a nightmare.
Yeah. And also to the point of personnel on the blocked extra point, I forget who did. I think it was Justice Mosqueda did the deep dive on it. They gave Elton Jenkins a break on that, and they put in whoever that fucknut was that just got picked up by the Titans. Bryant Banks, was that his name?
Yeah.
He's the one that blew the assignment according to Matt LaFleur. So that is specifically a Rich Bisaccia call to give Elton Jenkins the break on the special teams. That's not Matt LaFleur. That's Rich Bisaccia. Speaking of Matt LaFleur, he's my pay the tab because what the fuck? This was a Matt LaFleur beef it special on Sunday. It was another one of these things, just drove me up a wall watching him play call his way directly into a brick wall so many times. I don't fucking understand how, and I hate to say this because like I'm really trying not to like Dunning-Kruger myself here, but like if I'm playing Madden and the run game isn't fucking working, I'm not going to call a lot of fucking run plays anymore. I'm just going to throw the ball. The run game isn't working a whole lot, Matt, and Jordan Love is throwing the ball all over the place. Why don't we just throw the fucking ball a little bit more? Like, you come out here running all of these stupid little like twisty round, like, oh, the ball's over here. Oh no, the ball's going over here when the defender is in Jordan Love's lap every single time before the ball even gets out of his hands. We're running all these misdirections, and it's like, guys, their pass defense is the worst. Just line up, take 3-step drops, and throw the ball around and just go fucking score points. It's really not that hard. And then the 2 times that just stood out where he seemed like he didn't want to win this game. And it was 4th and 2. You had 4th and 2 on their 45-yard line. And you take a delay of game to fucking punt the ball. And then just that whole last drive where you got the ball with just under 5 minutes left to go. You're throwing the ball all over the field and you just need a touchdown to win. And you didn't even deserve to tie the way that you play called to the end of that game. It was one of the most infuriating offensively play called games I've ever seen in my life. I can't believe it's a game like this came from a veteran head coach.
I agree on the LaFleur paying the tab. My one thing was the only time, like, where it came on most, honestly, was just the last 2 minutes of the overtime. Before that, I'm with you. Like, I preferred to go for it on that 4th and 2 in the first quarter. At that point, I forgot, it might have been Nagler or someone else on Twitter, but they mentioned, like, we are right now. It didn't turn out that way in this game, but like a defensive first team. So I get in that instance, you're going to be like, no, we're going to punt it. Our defense will stop it, whatever. It is what it is. Like the other areas, even with the run game too, like in the first half, it didn't work. In the second half, like our running game, it ended with over 150 yards. Josh Jacobs had 2 touchdowns. Emmanuel Wilson got going. They had some explosive runs. They wore it down and they got it. When it comes to that end of the overtime, that to me where it's kind of inexcusable of like, even while it was happening, I was like, it really seemed, and Justin put it in the chat, like, and LaFleur admitted to it, he was worried about their kicker, which is like, I get that. I understand he has a hell of a leg.
So
if you score a touchdown,
right,
yeah,
score
exactly.
a fucking touchdown.
At least
over.
At least try to score a touchdown.
You don't do one until the end of the game, where even then he was upset about it, and as he should have been, because that very much could have been if that clock keeper just waited a point,
if that ball went up instead
anywhere else,
deflected down.
One tick more.
Yeah, exactly. So I get that. Like for me, it was literally just that last couple bits in overtime where I was like, what are we doing? That's where it was like, it looked like he was playing for the tie. No matter what he says, yes, he was playing scared of a kicker. It looked like you're playing for a tie. Before that, there's some part of me that understands committing to the run. It also opens up the play action. Would I have loved to see Jordan Love just sling it all the time because he was having a hell of a game? Absolutely. For me, it really is just that last 2 minutes. So swing passes at the times. Yes, Dobb missed a block, but you don't put him in that position if you're just a little bit more aggressive.
No, you throw to the end zone on that play. Like you have, but Matt was so insistent on getting the clock moving and calling plays that kept the clock running so that Brandon Aubrey didn't have a shot rather than just score the touchdown or just try. And it was the end of the game. He was playing for the tie there. And I tweeted it out and I texted a couple of people as soon as it went to overtime. I said, LaFleur is so stoked to be playing after Aubrey hit his field goal in overtime. I said, LaFleur is stoked to play for the tie. That's where he's at. And that's the way that he coached that entire second half, was to not lose the game rather than to win the game. And it was awful across the board. We said in the pre-show, like, it did not feel like they scored 40 points because it was atrocious play calling for, I don't know, 85% of the game.
Well, go to True North's comment right there. Like, I do want to ask you guys this on that first half.
What, playing Madden with Dan's internet?
Well, that one was funny. That one got me. But the end of the first half thing, like being aggressive at that point, I didn't mind it because the way the Cowboys defense was, you did have a chance to get into field goal range.
Yeah.
It's just at that moment, the offensive line didn't hold up and it ended up in a strip sack. Like, and obviously went on to a touchdown, big swing, yada yada. But to me, like, I didn't mind him being aggressive at that moment because the way it was, we've been begging for him to be aggressive. He was. The offensive line didn't hold up. I don't want to put that moment on LaFleur because we've literally been asking for that since the first quarter, 4th and 2 that we didn't go for.
Yeah, I had no problem with them going for it there. Love, one thing that Dak did, like they knew the pass rush was going to be a problem. So one thing that they did really well was get the ball out of Dak's hands quickly.
Yep.
Matt and Jordan struggled with that in Cleveland, and they struggled with it again this week. Like Jordan does not have a feel for the pocket. His awareness in the pocket is not great. And it might be because it is collapsing on him a lot quicker than it should be. But Matt doesn't do anything to call plays to get the ball out of his hands quicker. They're like, run some quick outs, run some quick slants, run something that gets momentum going, gets the ball moving, and makes the defense have to respect it or at least neutralize the pass rush. Instead, it felt like everything they were doing were combo routes that took time to develop downfield. Right. And Jordan just didn't have the time. And I mean, maybe that's just me being a guy that doesn't know ball and they were covering up the quick reads. I don't know. But
look at the biggest play. Look at the biggest play of the night for the Packers. That long ball to Matthew Golden on the first drive. They
objectively hilarious play though with the two.
That was very funny. They move the pocket. They move Jordan Love out of the pocket. He rolls left by design over to the left. They move that pocket. Like you're saying, Todd, they don't have him sitting in the pocket, waiting for the pocket to collapse on him for those guys to get 40 yards down the field. By design, they move that pocket away and move him away from that and let that play develop down the field. You're exactly right. They did absolutely nothing to help Jordan Love mitigate. Like if your offensive line can't keep the pocket clean, then you need to artificially keep the pocket clean by whatever you're doing. Like I said, it was like he play called himself into a brick wall time and time and time again. The long ball was caught by Matthew Golden, but
definitely going to work. But yeah.
Yeah, I don't
I'm
think
with
that
you.
was
And
supposed to be a
Todd's point too, we're like, Dak got that ball out. Dak got that ball out super quick the whole time, but I know we're done with pay the tab at this point, and we've bitched for long enough, but holy shit, our corners have to step up a lot going forward.
Yeah.
Especially the next game we have against the Bengals. Because that was, and I don't know, I saw multiple times on Twitter, they felt like we were Joe Barry's defense with them lining up 10 yards off the ball constantly.
Oh my God. Yes.
That quick game was open nonstop. So hopefully that's something that's fixed. I guess it's the joys of letting these pains happen in the first 4 weeks. You can fix it. And Hafley was one we saw at the end of last season. First half of the year struggled. The second half, we went from middle of the league defensive DVOA to top 5. So things can change. The pass rush is always going to be there. Hopefully these corners can fix it.
I bet they can, Justin. I bet they can.
Don't ever forget the Packers let Tommy DeVito become a thing.
It would be nice if Nate Hobbs showed an interest in hitting people on other players. That was all he wanted to do in training camp was hit his own teammates. Dude, you have an opportunity to go hit other people. Go do it. And he's like, I'd rather not.
Honestly, at that point, Hobbs, just get Pickens to punch you. Like that should have been your role that game.
Exactly.
Like
get
not
him
even
out of the
playing
game.
defense. Yeah, just get him kicked out and we're fine. You get kicked out too. I don't care. Punch him first. That's fine.
I'm not a smart person, but I can someone explain, like, if the whole offensive game plan is for Dak Prescott to take 3 steps, throw the ball, take 3 steps, throw the ball, wouldn't you want your cornerbacks to be jumping, pressing, doing something like up close to the fucking line of scrimmage? Like,
No, because then they might
drove
get
me
beat
crazy.
deep, which they did anyways.
Which they fucking went.
Yeah, that was
Oh
a
my
clusterfuck,
god,
dude.
drove me up a fucking wall.
Yeah, 3 days later, you can tell we're still very fucking bitter about this tie. It's just
God, that's gonna sit with me for a while. This one's gonna sit with me for a while.
If they don't come out with their piss hot against Cincinnati, this
At
will be
home.
the game that I mark
At
as
home.
me turning on Matt LaFleur. Like
Yeah,
I've
Yeah.
been a LaFleur supporter the entire time. I've questioned him very little. And just kind of went with it. And this was a game that, coming out of Cleveland, we felt like this should be a game that would be easy as a coach to get your team up for, and they weren't. And he shelled up as soon as and this might be on me, Micah can attest. Before they kicked the extra point, I said, you know what's great about a 14-0 lead is your pass rushers can just pin their ears back and go. And we never got the 14-0 lead. So that might be on me for counting that extra point before it happened. Yep, that's fine. But to just see him shell up like that the entire rest of the game was awful. And if it's not fixed over the bye week, I'm not on the fire of the floor, but like, I gotta remember, Goody said, or Ed Policy said,
right.
like, he doesn't want to coach on a contract year, which means you're either getting an extension after this year or you're getting fired.
Right.
That's the part that's crazy. Is like, I think that comment was meant to like lit a fire under his ass. And I think it's done the complete opposite, where now he's like, I just can't lose games because I'm gonna get fired. Like it should have done the opposite effect of like, oh, I gotta pull just whatever coach you want to put in there, just throat or foot on their throat, 50-0. It's just weird, dude. It's not after those comments that you said exactly. Like I did not expect the conservative nature to come out, but it seemed to like bring it out of him right now.
Yeah. I mean, look, you can argue Brian Gutekunst has upheld his end of the bargain, and he's gone all in. He's pushed his chips into the fucking middle of the table.
Listen, that guy's safe for the next 2 years. I don't care what anyone says. That man has put a team together. We are a very talented team. Goody, you're safe. Top 5 GM in the league. I don't care.
Yeah. So Matt's got the fucking pieces. He's been given the pieces. You need to drive this Ferrari, buddy. All right, let's jump into some bye week bar bets, baby.
Most exciting.
Yeah, who doesn't love this? Does Christian Watson return to practice before the Bengals game? Because I don't think it's been officially said that he will, but it's like kind of this like 50-50 chance that he is.
Yeah, I think they asked LaFleur and he said they're looking into it.
They're looking into it. So do you think he returns to practice before the Bengals game? So we got the rest of kind of this week, next couple days, and then next week. Jimmy?
I'm going to go because then he still has a couple weeks to get ready. I'm going to say yes. Fuck it, 5 Bakhtiaris.
Todd?
I'm going to say 5 Bakhtiaris, yes. We're looking at 2 weeks of practice for him to get it like sometime next week. What we saw from him in training camp, I mean, he was running at what looked like almost top speed. He was cutting. I would guess he's as close to being ready as you can at this point, and getting him out there and seeing what he can do. I'm going to go 5 Bakhtiaris, yes.
If Stephon Diggs can be back in the NFL right now playing, doing cocaine on a boat with Cardi B, I think Christian Watson can doing whatever he's doing on the boat with Cardi B. I think Christian Watson can.
Yeah, I mean, I never would have thought it, but yeah, I'll say 5 Bakhtiaris, yes. Like it's kind of otherworldly, but I don't know what kind of weird pseudo science bullshit he did to his knee, but he's
ivermectin.
Yeah. Got some weird like little worm or something in there doing its job. Good for him. All right. I've decided for the other two bar bets, we're just going to look at the other two NFC North games. The Dolphin sounds, Matt. That's what it is. We're just going to look at the other two NFC North games that come up this week. The Vikings continue their trip across London and are taking on the Browns. They are 3.5-point favorites. I don't know about you guys. I had a small. I was obviously rooting for the Vikings to lose, but I had a small feeling in me that wanted to see Aaron Rodgers piss away that game.
Oh, cool. Dan's gone now.
Yeah.
Again, even without
All
his
right.
camera.
So who wins
yeah.
that game, Todd?
Vikings or Browns? I'm going to go Vikings. Dylan Gabriel starting.
What?
Yeah.
So Brian Flores in another country against a rookie quarterback. I like that matchup for the Vikings.
Yeah, I'm following you. I there's part of me that wants to take the Browns solely because of the defense and Carson Wentz, but like Flores going against a rookie quarterback, that is prime time for just making his life absolute hell. So I'm going to do the Vikings 5 Bakhtiaris.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, there you are.
Yeah, now we are.
What where
You
did I
went
go?
out when you started crying about Rodgers again. Fucking get over it, dude.
I thought it was funny to watch them
Vikings
lose.
or Browns. We've moved on.
I'm gonna go 2 Bakhtiaris Browns.
Fucking coward. Jimmy, Lions cover 10.5.
Who are they playing?
Dan, who are they playing?
They're playing the Bengals actually.
Yes, 5 Bakhtiaris. Yes, they cover.
Yeah, I'm going to take 5 Bakhtiaris. They cover. They've been on a tear. Never apologize for the schedule. We got them at a good time.
Yeah.
Because they're a fucking wagon.
Yeah.
They're a dump truck.
True. Yeah, I will say I'll say 4 Bakhtiaris. Yes, the Lions cover 10.5. Does Bo Melton get a pass breakup this week?
Tough one.
Same odds as he had last week.
Yeah.
5 Bakhtiaris. Nope.
Following that lead.
Yep. Put me down. 5 Bakhtiaris. No. All right. Jimmy, I think my internet's starting to go. So will you take us out?
Yeah. Follow Lombardi's Bar on Twitter at Lombardi's Bar. Same thing with YouTube. Follow all of us on our social medias, the Todd V, Jimmy_C08, whatever the fuck the blue sky thing is. It's in the little bubbles. But appreciate you guys listening. And we'll be back next Wednesday at 8 Central Time.